Hi everybody, I am Dr. Sehtaj Kaur and I secured an All India rank of 1304 in NEET PG 2023. In this video, I am going to be talking about 5 mistakes that I did during my NEET PG preparation as a PG aspirant, which you must not do. So first thing first, I started preparing my 20th notebook quite late during my preparation. And when I started making it, I made it quite haphazardly. As in, there was this one topic that I started to read, which was viral markers. So I started writing viral markers on the very first page of my 20th notebook. And in the evening, I felt like reading gynae, so I started reading gynae. And on the second page of my 20th notebook, I started writing about genital ulcers. So initially, my 20th notebook was quite haphazardly arranged. As in, the information that I was putting in my 20th was important because viral markers are important, and genital ulcers are important, and types of fractures are important. But I had put all this information in the starting 2 to 3 pages only. So I had not divided my 20th notebook subject-wise. That first 10 pages are for any subject like pathology, and the next 10 pages are for gynecology, and the next 10 are for orthopedics. So I did not I did not segregate my material of 20th notebook initially. Eventually, when I started preparing, when I reached towards the end of my preparation, when there were just 2 to 3 months left, I had started separating my material in 20th notebook. So that helped me a lot. But those initial pages, which had a lot of good information, but because it was not segregated properly, so I was not able to get the most out of it. That was the very first mistake that I did that you must not do. The second thing that I want to talk about is not revising every day. And by that, I mean taking out at least 1 hour of your time, of your day, in the night maybe, or in the morning, depends on you, for the revision of the subjects that you had studied the previous day or the previous week. This was something that I missed during my preparation, because I did not used to revise what I read the previous day or what I read the previous week, and I used to forget that so easily. And trust me, it's really normal for everybody to forget all the things that you have read, and you feel like you haven't read anything. But it's completely normal to have such thoughts, because once you have read that same thing again and again, at least for 3 to 4 times, that thing will not stay in your mind as a long-term memory. It won't. It will stay as a short-term memory. You remember it for like 2 days or 3 days, and after that you are going to forget. So for that, if you plan everyday revision, I think the best time for revision is in the morning only, when you wake up, like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Whenever you wake up, just open up what you read the previous day. If you were revising, if you were studying pathology the very previous day, you just wake up the next morning and you open up pathology. For example, if you were studying breast carcinoma, just open up breast carcinoma, and just within like half an hour, just brush it up what you read yesterday. And this thing, if you start revising every day, just imagine how much you are going to remember, because how many times you are going to read that same topic again and again and again. So revision does not start on the day when you have stopped your first read. Revision starts during your first read. So that is something that you have to remember, that revision starts simultaneously with your first read, with your second read. Revision is not something that once you have completed all the subjects, only then you can start your revision. You can start your revision from the very first day of your preparation. The third mistake that I did was getting distracted by social media. And I think that is the most common thing that distract youth like us. And for preparing for a competitive exam like NEET, or in fact any competitive exam like IIT or UPSC or any exam, you have to stay away from all the distractions that are of no use, that are doing nothing good to you. And social media, I think, especially Instagram, like scrolling the reels every day or scrolling YouTube shorts every day, they are giving you no benefit. You're not learning anything from that. And even if you are learning something from that, that is not your priority right now during the time of your preparation. Your priority right now is to stay healthy, first thing, and second, just keep studying, and just keep studying for your exam. Obviously, health comes first, but after that, you have to focus just on your studies and not get distracted by anything. This was one of the mistakes that I felt I could have improved upon it. The best method is just switch off your phone and keep it aside. Put on a timer that for these many hours or these many minutes you are going to study. You're not going to look at your phone at all. Even if like I know it's hard to study without internet these days, because everything is on YouTube, everything is in your like platforms like Marrow, Prep Ladder or Cerebellum, because all these platforms are accessible by net only. So if you guys have a tablet with you, so you can access these sites on your tablet, and just make sure that your tablet does not have any social media app or any app like Netflix or Hotstar, so you won't get distracted while watching those educational videos on educational platforms. You won't get distracted from the notifications that are being popped up on your menu. Okay, because if you're studying from the phone, a lot of notifications are going to come from WhatsApp or from Instagram, and you are definitely going to click on it, and then you're going to get distracted, and that 5 minutes turns into 1 hour, and you just don't know how the time flies. So every minute counts. So that is why you have to stay away from distractions, especially distractions from social media. The fourth mistake that I want to talk about is about GT, your grand test that you give around like every 15 days. So what I used to do is I used to give my grand test mostly in the evening time. I am not a morning person. I cannot get up early to give a grand test, and I feel like if I gave a grand test early in the morning, my whole day was like wasted. I could not solve the GT. I felt really tired, and I just couldn't do anything in that day. But this is something that you can decide for yourself, that when you want to give your GT. But something which is important, that don't give your GT while lying down on the bed. So my fourth mistake that I want to discuss about here is when I used to give my GT. For example, if I'm giving a GT of Marrow, which is of 3.5 hours. And most of the time I used to complete my GT within 2.5 to 3 hours. And as soon as I completed my GT, I used to, just submit the paper. And I did not use that leftover time, that leftover half an hour or the leftover 40 minutes that I had. I did not use that time to check the mistakes that I might have made or to revise my GT. There's an option to put a star on your questions that you have doubt about, because Marrow platform gives the exact simulation of the paper of NEET PG, the actual NEET PG exam. So I never actually revised my questions, those marked questions, in the last half an hour that I had left in my GT, because I was always so much in a hurry to know my score, that how much I have scored or how many questions I've gotten right this time. So I never actually revised my GT in that last half an hour, which is important to avoid silly mistakes, because one silly mistake is going to cost you 5 marks, and those 5 marks can shoot your rank up to from 1,000 to hundreds, because on every mark there are a lot of students with the same marks, a lot of students with different rank with the same marks. So one question is going to make a difference of 5 marks. That is going to make a huge difference in your rank. So you have to avoid silly mistakes as much as you can, and that can happen only if you are very focused and you are revising in the last half an hour that is left in your GT. You have to complete your GT in 3 hours, so that you have left at least half an hour, 30 minutes to revise your GT to avoid silly mistakes. The last mistake that I want to talk about is undermining yourself, which I think most of us do, because the syllabus is so vast and sometimes it's so overwhelming that we think that it is impossible to do it, that we are of no good and we are not able to do any justice to what we are doing. I mean, the performance is not being reflected in our GT scores. Our GT scores may get stagnant for some time, and we may think that our strategy is not correct and we are not progressing with the way that we expected. But just remember that if you're putting in 100% of your hard work, and if your strategy is correct, then no one can stop you from getting a good rank. Marrow GT score is not what you are going to get in an actual exam. So just be positive and always think that whatever you are doing, you have to give your 100% at least. If you're giving your 100%, if you're giving 100% of your hard work into your studies, then the result is going to show. Trust me, it will. So don't undermine yourself that you can't do it. Just always think positive that you will do it. Set a really high target. Set a target that you are going to get the rank 1. You are the person who are going to get the rank 1. And only then you're going to push yourself to the extremes so that you will be able to perform well. If you keep the target of rank 1, then yes, you can definitely, it will be quite easier to get a rank at least under 1000. It's easy. It's not that difficult. Trust me, it's not. So just be positive and do not undermine yourself. Always think that you can do it and you will do it. So that's it, guys. These were the 5 mistakes that I wanted to talk about, which you guys can avoid now. So if you liked my video, you can subscribe to my channel and like the video and comment. And if you want me to share anything else about my preparation or anything else about NEET, then you can tell me in the comments.